afternoon. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now with a big Tuesday news day today. I'm your host, Paige Browning, with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Tuesday, October 7th. A lot of news is coming out of Oregon today. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem made a sudden visit to Portland. It comes as the Trump administration tries to portray the city as chaotic and in need of federal troops. Meanwhile, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek directed the roughly 200 members of the Oregon National Guard to head back home today. Oregon Public Broadcasting's Lauren Dake reports.
Oregon National Guard troops have been stationed at Camp Rylea outside of Astoria since the beginning of the month. And National Guard troops from California have been stationed at a military-owned property in Clackamas County since last week. Governor Kotek said they should all demobilize.
They should go home.
These civilian troops are in a bit of a limbo right now. A panel of appeals court judges is expected to decide soon whether to uphold or reverse a district court judge's ruling barring National Guard troops from deploying in Portland. I'm Lauren Dake reporting.
Portlanders, meanwhile, will hold a large, eye-catching protest this Sunday to oppose Trump's attempts to deploy federal troops there. The event is deemed an emergency naked bike ride. Portland locals hold an annual nude ride to protest fossil fuels, but have held additional nude events in the past couple of years. Up here in Seattle, leaders are trying to get out ahead of any potential deployment of troops to the Emerald City. Mayor Bruce Harrell's office says he will sign executive orders tomorrow to protect local law enforcement resources in the event of a troop deployment, and one about ICE agents wearing face masks while conducting raids. Details will come out tomorrow morning in a news conference. All the talk of troop deployment in the Northwest stems in part from small-scale protests at the Portland ICE facility. Today, Portland's top attorney is accusing the U.S. Department of Justice of turning a blind eye to federal officers' treatment of protesters there. Oregon Public Broadcasting's Alex Zielinski reports.
City Attorney Robert Taylor wrote that federal officers guarding the South Portland ICE building appear to be violating peaceful protesters' constitutional rights by shooting chemical munitions at them. Taylor also accused federal agents of bias. He said that federal officers seem to be treating demonstrators who support the Trump administration favorably, while firing tear gas and flashbang grenades at anti-ICE protesters. He urged federal civil rights attorneys to not use political arguments to weaken Portlanders' constitutional rights. Taylor's letter is in response to one sent by the Justice Department last week, announcing a federal investigation into the Portland police for its treatment of right-wing media figures. It also comes a day after a federal judge temporarily blocked Trump from deploying the National Guard to Portland.
That's OPB reporter Alex Zielinski. Some cold water for Starbucks employees today. Hundreds of Starbucks baristas and other workers in Washington will lose their jobs due to the recent store closures. The company's laying off 369 people across Washington, according to state unemployment filings. Their last day will be around December 5th. Last month, Starbucks suddenly closed hundreds of stores nationwide, 10 of which are in Seattle. The workers' union has protested the abrupt closures. In another top story we're following, safety while riding the bus. It's been nearly 1 year since King County Metro bus driver Sean Yim was stabbed to death by a passenger. The King County Council was briefed this week on safety changes operators want to see. Noelle Gasca has the latest.
After Yim's death in December 2024, the council established a transit safety task force. A new report from the group outlines over 150 recommendations for improving safety, like developing an app that would allow riders to report issues in real time.
We've heard from the Transit Safety Task Force that the current methods for riders to engage with us is both confusing, unclear, not quite sure exactly where they should go to deliver that feedback for us.
That's King County Metro General Manager Michelle Allison. Now, the council and task force will have to figure out how to fund some of the suggestions. Noelle Gasca, KUOW News.
Signature gatherers for 2 Republican-backed initiatives say people are interfering with the process and even assaulting workers. Scott Greenstone has more.
Andre Scott is from Texas, but he's being paid to gather signatures for 2 hot-button Washington ballot initiatives that would give parents more access to their kids' mental health counseling records and keep transgender athletes out of girls' sports. Scott was at the Covington Walmart 2 weeks ago when an employee on break came up and asked to sign.
He just seemed like a normal person.
But the man grabbed stacks of petitions and ran away. Scott caught him.
He was bent over in the trash can trying to rip everything up.
Covington police charged the man with theft and malicious mischief, but the Let's Go Washington campaign paying Scott says 31 such incidents have happened in the last 2 weeks, drawing condemnation from elected Democrats like Secretary of State Steve Hobbs. Let's Go Washington needs over 300,000 signatures by January to put the initiatives before the legislature. Scott Greenstone, KUOW News.
The Mariners are underway against the Detroit Tigers as we publish the show for you today. It's Game 3 of the American League Division Series. Sure, it's being played in Detroit, but that didn't stop fans from showing up at T-Mobile Park, even if it meant ditching work. Wendy Louvain left her job at Starbucks' corporate office early to join a watch party inside the ballpark with her son. She says this season's been great for fans.
Just having a set of people that we really wrapped our arms around this year. Big Dumper, Polanco, having Naylor join the team, and Suarez back has been really, really fun.
Louvain plans to be back at the ballpark tomorrow for Game 4 and will deal with her rescheduled meetings on Friday. Finally today, a Seattle scientist describes the last 24 hours as amazing and exciting, but mostly overwhelming after learning she won this year's Nobel Prize in Medicine. Gabriel Spitzer has the story.
Mary Bruckner's whirlwind day started with a rude awakening around 1:20 in the morning. A couple of phone calls from a foreign number sent straight to voicemail. Then around 3, she and her husband woke up to a noise on the front steps and found a stranger standing there claiming to be a news photographer.
She and my husband are yelling at each other through the door, like, who are you? Why are you here? And the only way he would let her in the house was she had the press release from Sweden on her phone. She could hold up to the window and say, your wife won the Nobel Prize.
Bruckner won for helping open up a new branch of immunology with implications for treating cancer and autoimmune disease. She says she was especially surprised because a lot of this work dates back to the 1990s. Gabriel Spitzer, KUOW News.
Next time on Seattle Now, when SIF announced it was buying and reopening the Cinerama, cinephiles around the city saw it as a match made in heaven.
You know 2 people and you're like, those 2 people are meant to be together and they're just going to end up together. And I feel like that was the feeling even before SIF ended up purchasing the Cinerama.
But the Cinerama revival has had mixed results as the organization tries to find better financial footing. Hear more Wednesday morning. And that's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producers Andy Hurst and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. Go Mariners! We'll talk to you tomorrow.